What's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time there was a HasbroPulse livestream event and they talked about the new blaster coming out, but ahead of time they actually revealed the blaster already, so we could talk about that. And there wasn't really much going on with the live stream. I expect the bigger stuff to come out later. I think this is just kind of a starting off point and they wanted to get certain things out of the way. But yeah, expect more from Generations and Studio Series down the road. Anyways, let's go ahead and start off with the blaster set. So obviously this isn't blaster, this is Eject. So this is the figure that came with it, and yes, it is going to be a complete repaint / recolor of the Kingdom or the Legacy blaster, but that makes sense. Why would you rehash or remake that design? Why not just repaint it if you're gonna have to do that? And I don't think that this is a bad repaint because they solidified the plastic for the Eject figure. One of the biggest concerns was the transparent plastic would stress on the Eject and Rewind, and what they decided to do was just make it out of solid plastic. Another good thing is that this actually looks like the original Eject. It looks like it popped out of the cartoon this time around, and I actually like how it looks for the cassette mode, mostly because it's a lot of blue, but you see the white striping on the side. I think that's a nice contrast, so yeah, that's the cassette mode, and then obviously you've got the robot mode, and it's very clean. Very nice bright white for the head and the arms. I like the gold in the chest. I also didn't realize they had abs until we saw this solid colored piece. But yeah, this is going to be the fourth recolor of this mold because we had it in Shattered Glass, we had it with Twin Cast, and of course Blaster. If you want to count Legacy and Kingdom as the same thing, which is just repack, then yes, this is the fourth time around. Yeah, it's a pretty good mold. It's good for what it is. It's a lot better than the Soundwave cassettes. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Blaster himself. So this is meant to evoke the cartoon design. So the red is still very vibrant, but the grays, the blacks, are more like a dark gray, so it's a lighter tone. And then the dark grays, the secondary color, seems to be a deeper tone, but I think when they compared it, it was pretty similar, so I think it's just the stock image itself. Now, another cool thing is that the chest is also using solid plastic, but you can see that they printed the side here. And that definitely reminds me of some of the previous blasters. That feels very classic, so I like that. And I also like that they kind of shaped it to look like the cassette with the ring inside there. And yeah, let's take a look at another pose. I wanted to take a look at this because, you know, Blaster looks cool. We don't get enough Blaster. Also, I wanted to point out that he seems to have paint applications on the area where the feet flip down. You can see a little bit of red in there, so that's good. Yeah, this is going to be part of the Studio Series lineup. This is going to be a Target exclusive, which pretty much confirms, along with the Legacy Wheeljack, the Origins Wheeljack, I should say, that the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line is pretty much done. And I'm not really surprised there, because Buzzworthy Bumblebee was kind of a stretch. It didn't really relate to Bumblebee most of the time, so we don't necessarily need it. We could have something like this. But, yeah, this is going to be a Target exclusive, so yeah. Anyways, moving on, we also have more images of the Starseeker lineup, so I'm going to kind of retread on some of the other images, but we do get to see the alt modes. We also have the packaging, and basically it's going to look like the normal Legacy lineup, except it's going to have more blue with it, and I think that's a nice contrast because the Legacy United packagings have a lot more red this time around. So yeah, you're going to be able to spot these pretty easily, much like how they did with the G2 line. Anyway, so there's the package for the Cannonball. Let's go ahead and actually start off with Lockdown. So there's the robot mode. You know, we've talked about it before. If you want to see the previous video, it's up there. But I want to kind of transition into the alt mode. Now, what I love about this is you can see the red dot on the engine, so they actually painted it this time around. I think it could have used more green at the front, though. It's just a lot of blacks and silver. You can see the green at the top there, but I don't feel like it's enough. I do like the yellow on the back that's meant to look like his animated form. But yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. You know, I don't understand why people wanted this to be a chase repaint. I mean, I get it when you mistransform the legs, but this one has the hook and the engine, and it's more rough. It's actually got the spikes, so I don't know why you wouldn't want it to be based on that. I just realized I have animated lockdown right in front of me. Anyways, moving on, we also have Filch. So there's the robot mode. We've talked about that before. We talked about the remolding work of the head, the shoulders, the wings. And I was curious how the wings are going to assemble. And we get a clear look at that. So you can see that the wings will be able to attach onto the edges there. And it will still have the similar articulation. It also looks like it's got the discs right here, kind of like the shoulders are meant to incorporate into the wings. And I don't mind the head. It definitely has a backpack. Like, it's got something there. But otherwise, yeah, it's Filch, and I'm glad that they're doing this character because they didn't really do much with Filch. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Or, no, it's Flitch. Anyways, we've got Cannonball. So we talked about this before, but I noticed there was something on the back that was stored. I originally thought that it was going to be a weapon piece that you could swap, but that's not the case. And we'll talk about that with the alt mode, but I want to acknowledge a couple of things. First of all, I love the gold accents. I know that the painted is different in tone to the plastic gold, but I love it. I like the skull shape on the side. That's something that the original toy had. And you could also see the skull shape on the top there, which has another cyber key. So Starscream has the Decepticon cyber key. This one has the Earth cyber key. It is in black, but what I'm thinking is this is going to be remade into Red Alert, likely with transparent blue plastic, and you're going to get a proper Earth cyber key out of that. I think it's going to be a Walgreens exclusive. I might be wrong, but eventually I could see this being formed into Red Alert, especially when you consider that the Siren is a new mold and it's got his head on the top there. That was something of the original toy. You could push that down and it would tuck in with the Siren, so I'm glad that they actually made a reference to that. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. I wouldn't also mind seeing this as Soundwave, but that might just be me. Anyways, yeah, I think I need this because I have a lot of the Cybertron characters. I'm trying to go for the Cybertron Legacy stuff, and technically Cannonball is a Cybertron character. That's where he started off, so yeah, I think I need this one. Anyways, moving right along, we also have Ferak. So we've got more of an idea of why they decided to remold this character. And when you take a look at the wings, what I noticed is, of course, they have the little thrusters or the little blasters jetting out. What they show is that you can take those off, and those will form blasters, handheld blasters. So I thought that was a pretty good gimmick. Not something that's necessary for this toy. In fact, none of the remolding work is really necessary, but it's something they decided to do, and I'm totally fine with it. I do like the head sculpt. I like how serious and all the panel line, or not panel lines, but the sculpted lines in that. And we got a good look at his alt mode. Now I'm using this image, but of course you could plug the blasters on the side. He also does carry the same gun from the Cyclonus, so it's just in white. But I do like how this turned out, and you can also see that the nose is going to be different. It's going to be gray, and it's going to have this rigid design at the top there. But most of the rest of the jet is pretty much the same. The cockpit hasn't changed. The back wings for the arms hasn't changed. It doesn't seem like the shoulders really changed that much. I could be wrong, but yeah, essentially it's the same thing, but I'm kind of surprised. So with that out of the way, what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads, and I'll see you guys next time.
AllSpark TV, now that's just prime.